the GameX 2022 B2B conference again, which was held for the first time this year. Today we are a second day of B2B conference. Yesterday was a great day too, and we watched both the projects participating, the Google Boost Startup Booster program and the panels about the investment world. Today our topic is mobile. Today we will watch many panels about the mobile world. I'm sure it will be great too. Now I don't want to talking so much because the new panel is starting right now, and our topic is now, subject is creating the perfect production pipeline. Mr. Türker and Karahan, Udo Games, co-founder and CEO, and Burkay Özdemir. Ters. Okay. Sorry. Türker değil, Burkay and Türker, co-founder and managing partner at Udo Games. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Türker. Welcome everyone. I have been in the gaming industry for 11 years, and it's been 9 years since we founded Udo Games. So we were mostly in the mobile part, and for the last few years we are only developing mobile games. And we have games from IO genre, casual genre, and also lastly from the hyper casual genres. And today I'm here for the talk about the production pipeline. One of the main reasons is there are lots of events like here, and I realized that most of the topics are about investment, about marketing, or the other technologies rather than production. So that's why I want to bring this topic to talk about, and I'm here with my dear friend Burkay, that I believe they are one of the most productive teams in Turkey. So here.
Thank you.
You go.
Hello, I'm Burkay. Frankly, I started my journey in game industry with Türker as well. So 11 years, around 11 years in gaming industry, and I think we founded companies at the same year as well.
Yeah,
right?
a few months.
Yeah, we started our journey in animation and gaming technologies in ODTÜ, in Ankara, and we have been developing games since then, since 2013, I guess. And we started as a two-people company. Now we are almost 70 people. So along the way, we have came across with lots of challenges. So when I saw the title, I said like I have to be in there too. So maybe we can share some details about the production. So
yeah, that's great. So one of the other reasons that we should talk is you are working on different projects than us, and you have other focuses on the production side too. So let's start with you actually. Then I will go on. So I want to ask you that you have really 3 different genres that you are working on, right? And all of their focuses are really different, and all of the needs are really different. How do you do this organization when you are doing really different kind of projects?
Yeah, so, well, as Türker said, we are currently doing 3 operations: hyper casual, casual, and Roblox. And each of them has their own problems, their own scalability, feasibility, etc. And when we started doing all of these operations, it was a headache to understand like how can we manage the pipeline for each of them, and how can we make them independent from each other as much as possible, because making them trying to manage them at the same time is kind of like a mess. So what we did was we didn't start like whole 3 operations at once. So we were at the 2013 we were a casual company, actually casual premium company, and so we started our company with like developing casual titles, and then around 2018, I guess, or like 2017, I can't remember well. We started hyper casual because of the huge hype that all of the game companies were like having very good times with hyper casual. So we didn't want to miss that opportunity to join the trend and join the train, I guess, and basically work on hyper casual. It was quite hard process because casual and hyper casual is quite different. On a hyper casual, you try to be very agile. You try to create prototypes like maybe 6 times more than casual games. And on casual game, you try to polish, iterate all the time to get a very good product or competitive product. But on hyper casual, Türker can give you more idea because I don't think we are like as good as you on hyper casual side. We still couldn't manage to actually get a release on hyper casual. So maybe you're
That's one of
best.
the problems, actually, right? Yeah. I mean, when you have 3 different focuses, probably one of them is missing for the team. That you miss the focus, or you miss the product quality, or you miss the hit chances from this one of those. Do you believe is it like this?
So kind of yes, like having more focused production, even on one genre, not even casual or hyper casual, like casual match 3, let's say, or like casual action shooter. Is like more viable option. The reason is as you develop new prototypes, as you develop new games, you start to understand the market. You start to gather more intelligence. But in our case, that's why like it was a huge headache because we wanted all of the operations to be similar as the other one. So we gave the same priority. We hired a lot of product managers, project managers, team leads to be able to manage that. And I think on the hyper casual, there's still a huge luck factor or chance factor still. So I want to give the reason why we haven't launched that, but you can't tell more about it.
That's actually one of the main reasons. This is a really huge topic, actually, in the end. I mean, this is a topic like you need to only focus on you only talk about the hyper casual production pipeline. This is totally different stuff. I mean, casual production pipeline is totally different. But I wanted to create this topic to talk in general. I mean, when I go to our site, we have also 3 different operations. Like we have a casual team, we have a hyper casual team, and we have also a growth team that we do the self-publishing side and we do the marketing side. And that's also 3 totally different subjects. So from our side, different than you, we have a more focus on the hyper casual side, and we have a more production capacity in the hyper casual side. As you said, there are really different focuses on these topics. And I don't want to even talk about the growth side. This is a totally different topic that even it is different than the gaming industry. You are not doing anything about gaming.
Well, any of them could take like an hour or 2 hours to talk about, actually. But
So here, from our perspective, one of the reasons that I want to do a general talk is you can create a pipeline for any genre or any production focus. So we need to talk about a few tips and a few stuff that we tried, we failed or we succeeded. So as far as I remember, we tried more than 10 different pipeline from our side. So for the people that have no idea about the pipeline, is when you are saying production pipeline, it's more about creating the organization for the team that they feel well and they feel productive in the in their daily life and in the quality of the product and also in the speed of the product, production speed of the focused sites. So that's a totally general topic. So for the hyper-casual side, actually, as I said, we tried really lots of different stuff that, as you mentioned, we tried to put project managers or product managers, whatever you say. Also, this is two different role actually. Yeah. Project manager and product manager is totally different. That's one of the stuff we tried and failed. So for the hyper-casual side, only focus is on the product. So whatever you do, you need to focus on the product and you need to create a pipeline that only focused on the product. I mean, for both the quality of the product and also the production speed. That's the two main focuses. So after lots of trials, we decided to stick on a pipeline like we have product owners, a new title that everyone asks about. What is the product owner? What does he do in their daily life, etc. So product owners are half-time product owners and half-time other roles that they have, and most of them are game designers in the end. So because they need to focus on the product, whatever idea they bring, they focus on the idea and they focus on the bringing idea to the product in the fastest way and in the most quality way. So we believe that game designers are really good product owners if they also have the potential to lead the team and potential to give the good ideas, good iterations to the game. So that goes on like this. As I said, there are lots of stuff to talk. So I want to pass the idea to you. So I want your opinions about the casual side, actually, because I believe you are a really great casual, productive team. So what kind of pipeline in your casual side?
So I think these titles and their responsibilities was the greatest challenge for us when we are also starting to make hyper-casual and casual at the same time, because on hyper-casual, game designer is kind of merged with the product manager and became like product owner or like game manager, whatever you call it. But on the casual side, you need more specialized team on each traditional role. Like you need game designers, you need lead designs, you need specific programmers to handle backend, front-end, Unity side. On the Unity side, not just a gameplay programmer, but basically a UI programmer, gameplay programmer, which, for example, in hyper-casual, a gameplay programmer might be able to handling all of the UI, all of the gameplay, all of the game mechanics by himself, depending on your team size, of course. But if you have too much programmer or like too big of a team on hyper-casual, you start to slow down on the production because everyone is kind of like waiting a lead's advice or like direction. But in our case, for example, when we give freedom to programmers, artists, or game managers, let's say, freedom, kind of, and let them take the initiatives and do not come to leads, do not wait for lead advice. It started to go much faster, but on the casual side, quite differently, we need them to get advice from leads, get advice from project managers, get advice from product owners, because the milestones are quite larger. So for example, when you start developing a casual game, you get a prototype in like what, 4 months, 6 months maybe, and and after 6 months you just have an MVP, so marketable prototype. So and if any of your coder, any of your artists, or any of your colleague is just going by himself, he might be going in this totally wrong way, and you may be misguiding him, or like the whole, you might be dragging from the project quite a lot. And on hyper-casual, you have a prototype like in what, week or 2 weeks at most?
Mostly.
Yeah. So a week is quite different than, let's say, our one milestone is on the casual side is like a month. So after a month, if you realize someone is like doing something wrong, then you got the whole month wasted, right? And on hyper casual, sometimes they do something wrong by a chance, and it just goes well, right? It just works, and I think that's the biggest difference, I guess. Team sizes, roles, and how do you manage them? And I have a question for you, actually. How large is your project team, given parallel projects you have in the development? How large is your team, and what are the usual roles?
So we do 7 to 8 prototypes in parallel, with, including 3 people, like a product owner, a game artist, and a game developer. So including 3 people, when we say 7 game per parallel, it's like 21 or 20 people only working on the hyper casual side. I didn't mention, but we have a team of close to 50 people also. So we have a huge production team for both the hyper casual and casual side. So from here, I want to ask a question to you. Okay. So in hyper casual, as you mentioned, when we are even talking outside, like when we are talking casually in our daily life, there comes tips that can affect the future of the project, and these tips can work that's coming from anyone. Even when different people from outside comes to the office and says, "Oh, I saw this game and I want to give a tip to you." Even we use these tips to implement to our game. But on the casual side, do you consider it as like only experienced people give tips and only experienced people make iterations to the casual games?
So basically, of course, like they are being accepted by professionals.
Of course.
Oh, is this okay? Any tips are being accepted by professionals, of course, but when you work for so much time, you create professional, like something called professional blindness, and you become blind to understand, like, if your game is doing the first time user experience great or no, because you know everything, you know all the features, and if your game is explaining this feature to your players, and sometimes you miss quite a lot of stuff, and when someone comes from outside and say, okay, I didn't understand this, how can I move, how can I use my ability or whatever, and you then just understand, okay, we are doing something wrong because this guy is not understanding anything at all, that we thought that it was explained quite very well, let's say, and then we start to think about what can we do. But of course, like, some tips are not quite implementable, or like you can't develop anything above that. But basically, it's, I think, matter of understanding what's going wrong. Like for example, you give me some tip like this ultimate doesn't work. Like you should do something else, and we don't like remove the ultimate ability from the game, of course. Because well, our designers should be able to defend that. if I say like, okay, we are removing ultimate ability, then I go to designer and say that if he is not defending that, why were we investing like months on developing this ability? But basically, tips are always welcome. Ideas always welcome.
That's actually one of the reasons, even when I try your casual games, I feel shy to give you some tips that I feel like you've been working on this project for months, and I'm pretty sure they thought about everything. What am I giving to them? Yeah. They shouldn't probably be missing that. I feel like that.
Yeah, like a fun story that we, for example, we added and removed so much abilities, even like online leaderboards, etc., just 1 week before the release or 1 week before the milestone, like MEP, soft launch, just because somebody gave a very good, very valuable tip for us. And basically, sometimes we found out that increased our KPIs, retention, stickiness, whatever, engagement, quite a lot, like even sometimes like 5% and more. So yeah, on casual title, when you see a casual mid-core, we worked on mid-core, quite a few mid-core titles as well. When you see it, there's like a lot to understand. Like if you open Clash of Clans right now, you see huge stuff that you can't really comprehend. But basically, that's why people get shy from giving advices, except younger audience, I guess. They're like, I don't like this game. They start crying and moaning about the games all the time. But I really value their feedbacks too.
Like egg reviews, right? Okay, so the new topic is about the roles, actually. My second question was about roles, but first I want to talk about how differentiate the roles inside the team, depending on the genre. So there are a few talks about what kind of different roles should be in the hyper-casual side or the casual side, or mostly in the mobile side. So I mean, for the PC companies or for the AAA or AA companies, like bigger companies that have more than 100 people, there are lots of different titles that need to be focused in the team. But in mobile, it's always like one man is doing lots of different stuff. Like, I mean, actually for the that's a hard question for the artist side mostly. I mean, we always talk about what kind of title we need to put to the for example, for a LinkedIn job description. What should it be? Should it be a generalist artist? Should it be a 3D artist? But when we are talking with him, if he or she is a new person to the industry, we need to talk about hello, your daily life will be including of animations, modeling. I mean,
is anyone accepting that?
You have to know about Unity, and even you have to know about version management systems and etc. etc. There are lots of stuff that they need to know and they need to learn after, if they are a junior or if they are a new to the industry. So in the end, we have titles like 3D generalist. That's the best title we could find. And also we have Unity developers. From the development side, I'm pretty sure we are not writing titles like game developer or game programmer. As you know, and as most of you know, Unity is the standalone winner here, and most of the companies uses Unity. And the only technical stuff we are looking for the developers are their knowledge in Unity and also their knowledge in the programming side. So that's pretty sure that's a unique title from our perspective. And on the other end, for the casual side, we have like the same structure, by the way, different than you. We even use three people of teams in the casual side. But as you said, they are not making a prototype in 2 weeks, sorry, but they do it in 1.5 months or 2 months in the end. They have more time, but they are again a small team that focused on each other, focused on only their topics, and not a how can I say, not a very different kind of production cycle from the hyper-casual side. But that goes on like this. As far as I remember, you have a title like Match 3 Level Designer. So what goes on in your team? Are there so many different titles, or are there so many only a few focused titles?
No. So basically, I think you described startup life very well. But as we grow older with the company, we found out that some parts needs their own specialists because, so for example, if a level designer is doing just a level design, and what's he doing? Like, is he designing a runner level, like environment, or is he or she designing a mesh tree levels, which is quite different and requires quite a bit of knowledge. So basically, the general idea is the same. You try to create the same difficulty curve all the time, but how can you create this difficulty when you have a 9 to 9 tile versus you have whatever too big of a platform to run to? So that's why we have been looking for a match 3 level designer, for example, or like shooter level designer. Because on shooters, you create, for example, on one of the game we are working on, a shooter, you create a terrain, you build some obstacles above that, and you want it to be somewhat entertaining, not really boring for users. While on match 3 side, you have to understand how those people created like 5,000 levels and still going on. So if you think about Playrix having like 2,000, 3,000 employees on just one part of the company, well, that's live ops. Live ops is a quite different thing, and you have to manage being so fast on creating new content for your game, but still on DevOps too, you have to match that. You have to be able to compete that. So that's why we were looking for match level designer, which we still couldn't find. Maybe if anyone is interested. But in Turkey, though, when we started in 2013, the ecosystem was nowhere to be found, and people were not really interested. Anyone from artists, I remember both of our problems were finding artists. So it was quite hard to find any talent. But nowadays, there are a lot of universities, etc., programs that are, giving us some talents, giving the industry some talents to work with. So it's, our chances are quite bigger to find new talents right now, new quite valuable talents. But what do you think about your roles? Like, do you still, are you always look for general roles, or do you have any special?
Yeah, that's the last topic I want to start about the short, and we need to finish after that. So also, as far as you know, there are lots of different talents coming to the industry. I mean, from 5 years behind, we are getting much more applications to the team, and there are much more different kind of roles that newcomers want to work on or want to experience on. So I'm really hopeful on this topic that the industry will be much more experienced in the upcoming years, and we will be we will have much more chance on finding the best talents from different topics. So thanks for coming with me, and thanks for joining this session.
Thank you.
And thanks for you too.
Thank you so much, guys. Your speech was great and continue great, but this time is the limit because there's so many.
You gave us the little time. Right?
Yeah, there are so many panels today. Thank you so much again.